Hello everyone. On the 21st of October, we are going to have a Libra new moon. And luckily, it's not aneretic. It is at the very end of the sign at 28 degrees, but not aneretic. But at the same time, many of its aspects and configurations are out of sign. It's called dissociate in karmic astrology. And it simply means that if you have an aspect, of course, it has to be exact, not to the minute, but to the degree approximately. For instance, a square, we speak about a square when it is anywhere between the distance between the two planets is anywhere between 86 degrees and 94 degrees somewhere. It's still a square. It's a wide square, but still a square. But if you have a lot of planets at the very end and at the very beginning of the signs, you get dissociate aspects. It may be quite exact, may be quite tight, but in a different energy pattern. So let's take a look at the chart itself. And I gave the title Rickety Balance. Why? Because first of all, new moons are always about new beginnings. And out of the 13 new moons, potential new moons within a year, the Libra new moon is the best for creating balance in your life. And this balance is a bit rickety, simply because the energy patterns are not synchronized; they are out of sign. We have a Capricorn rising and a Scorpio midheaven, and Pluto is in the first house. And this is one of the so-called Jolly Joker placements. One better placement is when the ruler of the midheaven is on the ascendant, which actually happens in the Budapest chart. And no wonder you probably heard the news that Budapest will provide the forum for Putin and Trump meeting and peace talks. And I'm very proud of this, that the two leaders selected us as the home for these peace talks. And I really hope that there will be peace talks, and they will hopefully get to some kind of agreement. The problem is that the old-fashioned monetary power, the center of which is the city, doesn't want a peace. They don't want peace. They want this war to go on. They want the Russians to fail, to lose this war, and they want to grab part of Russia and turn it into their own playgrounds. This is the big thing. The problem is they don't have the money for it, and they don't have manpower, they don't have soldiers, and also they don't have the weapons. Because at the moment they gave all the weapons to Ukraine, and there's no European army, and there's no one can fight this war really. At the moment, unfortunately, the army, the Ukrainian army is suffering huge losses, and they don't know how to enlist the people, because those who want to fight are already in the army, and now they want to draft the 23-year-olds. And if this occurs, then that nation is losing its future. That's the problem. If you take a look at the chart, so anyhow, so the Pluto in the first house ruling the midheaven is nice, because it means that we are going to deal on our life path what kind of future we want. The Sun Moon conjunction is in the 9th house, which is philosophy, and also higher education and big trips, and philosophy itself as well. And the Mars-Mercury conjunction is in the 10th house, joined by Black Moon Lilith. Mars-Mercury is always about how you exercise your will verbally. And if it's a conjunction, it simply means that you know how to verbally either attack or save someone. And it also means to me that please don't fight with weapons, fight with words. And Lilith, Black Moon Lilith there means that you have the insight, you have the clairvoyance, and you have the willingness to act properly. There is a triple conjunction in the cusp of the fifth house, Sedna, Uranus, and Dark Moon. Dark Moon is still in Mercury, so in Taurus, but it's the fastest. So it's an energetic dark moon, but it's the fastest, and it's going to join during the new moon phase. It's definitely going to join in a couple, like half a year, a day or a day later with Uranus and Sedna. Uranus is change, and Sedna means take things apart and rearrange them. And with dark moon, do it in a way that don't care for what the others think. Do it because you know that you're right, and even if they curse you, you should do it. This is the space-time moment. And of course, the Chiron Aries conjunction, which is retrograding at the moment, is still very, very tight. We spoke about this a couple of times already. So let's take a look at this complex and partly dissociate planetary picture. We do have a finger of fate in where the Sun-Moon conjunction is at the apex, so it's the highlight of it, and Saturn and Dark Moon are making the sextile, and it is out of time because Neptune and Uranus Sedna are also joining in, but then again, the energy pattern is not right. You have a quincunx, which is in trine energy, and another quincunx with Neptune and the Sun Moon, which is an opposition energy. So it's really crooked in many ways. It still remains that this is a very karmic configuration. And I was kind of hoping, not really hoping, but I thought that by the new moon, Neptune will be back in its own sign. No, it's not. It's still at 0 degrees, 01 minute Aries, so actually at the equinox point. So it's at the vernal equinox point. And every time Neptune is in its own sign, you see this collective craziness. 165 years ago, it was the Communist Manifesto. And 330 years ago, it was the Salem witch hunt, witch trials. So, and this is what if you take a look at the last 10 years, especially in this woke idiocy, you know what I'm talking about. It will be back for a couple of weeks. So we will have another taste of this collective idiocy. There's also an engine in this configuration, Sun Moon, Pluto, and Dark Moon Lilith. And the Pluto Dark Moon Lilith is a square trine, a trine which is occurring in square energies, Aquarius and Taurus. But the square from Pluto to the Sun Moon is in both in air signs, so it's a trine energy. So again, you feel this crookedness. There's also a little engine with the Sun Moon, Saturn, Neptune, and Pluto, and another one, Sun, Moon, Saturn, Neptune, and Astrea. So you have a number of figures here. And there's also a harmony triangle with Saturn, Neptune, Pluto, and Dark Moon, Uranus, Sedna. And energetically, what closes it is the Pluto, Neptune, Uranus, Sedna. And it is, of course, an air fire harmony triangle. So you have many energies that are really working hard to reconcile what is going on in the world. Here are the transcendental celestial objects, quite a few. Chromium is I think Zeta, I forgot to, Scorpio. Sorry about that. Okay, I again have very little time, and I'm just trying to put this out so that you can watch it and see how the energy patterns are working. And as I many times mentioned to my students and everyone else who is interested in astrology, it's not the planets who cause us to do stuff. The planets simply describe the flavor of the energy patterns. It is like a weather forecast. The weatherman doesn't tell you what to do. It simply tells you that today is going to rain or today is going to be shining, whatever. And then you decide what to do with it. So my task is simply to tell you the energy patterns, and you can utilize it as you want. So on the sun moon, we have Themis, Astarte, and Altaira, which I'm going to show you in a minute, and Isar, which is Epsilon Boots. So the whole constellation Boots is about how people after hunting gathering started to create agriculture and live with nature, sometimes against nature. On the dark moon, you have Neith, the main goddess of the creator goddess of Egyptians, Phaethon, which is one of the so-called cataclysm asteroids, and Europe. So yes, Europe is kind of in a cataclysmic change. And Lempo and Alicanto are two TNOs. Lempo is the Finnish creator god who in later Christian times was turned into a demon, into a horrible figure. And this happens so many times that one era's gods, chief gods, turn into demons or something horrible. Of course, they are turned into. And Alicanto, I have a full video on Alicanto if you are interested. What it is, it's the nocturnal bird who is eating too much. So it represents greed. And this bird is eating precious metals, but and shines beautifully. But if it eats too much, it's unable to fly, unable to fulfill its own energy, its own purpose. On Saturday, you have Regina. I was laughing at this because, of course, Ursula von der Leyen really behaves like a Kaiserin or a queen of Europe, and she does horrible and stupid and idiotic things and kind of pushes us into war. Think about it. Now she wants to declare that Russian energy and Russian metals and resources cannot be purchased by Europeans forever. So she will die in 20 years or 30 years, okay? But she thinks that she can ban it forever. Good luck with it. She's an idiot. She's a horrible person. Anyhow, and that's Saturn. And Uranus, Sedna, has Melite. Melite is one of the ancient muses. You probably are familiar with the 9 muses of the Greeks, but there were 3 original muses, and she was the muse of meditation. And if you want change, you need to meditate on it. That's the message. And of course, there's the Pleiades, which is the home of the creator goddess. And on Neptune, you have Sheat, which is the beta star of the Pegasus. It is one of the main healing words for fresh suicide victims. Neptune will be there for quite a while because now she's going back. Neptune is going back into Pisces, but not very deeply, and then turns back. So for the next couple of months, Neptune will be aligned with Sheat. And on Pluto, you have Alma, the soul, and Altair, which is Alpha Aquila, which is one of the shaman stars. And on Astrea, you have Amor, love, Avicenna, Ibn Sina, the magical doctor or physician of the 1001 tales of the Orient, and actually it's the Latinized name of this polymath, really, who can solve and resolve things. Grumium, which is Zeta Scorpio, and no, hold on one second. Grumium is not in. Zeta, not Scorpio. I made a mistake here. Sorry about that. It is Zeta Draco. Sorry, Draco. Where am I going? Okay. Okay. This is when you don't have the time to reread what you wrote. And you have Grumium is the mouth of the celestial dragon. And the galactic center, that's also there. And the galactic center, 28 degrees, is one of the main key celestial areas. You can actually, I have a video if you are interested, you can actually check it out. And it's all these key celestial areas carry karmic issues, karmic dilemmas, and the galactic center carries the karmic dilemma of to be or not to be, to come into a physical form, to the third dimension, to the earth plane, or to remain high up there in an invisible, non-physical form. Here's Themis. She's the Greek goddess of divine law and order. This is one of the archetypes, again, what we have on the new moon conjunction right here. So we are going to take, hold on 1 second. This is what we are going to look at now in detail. So Themis, who is a titaness, but originally she was a goddess. Of course, this is the pre-Zeusian era, and she is the goddess of divine law and order, something very, very similar to the Egyptian Maat, who was used by Anubis to when he measured the soul of the dead. And Maat was a feather, and if the soul was heavier than the feather, then the soul couldn't reincarnate. So that's what the theme is: divine law and order. This is what we need. Here's Astarte, who is the ancient Canaanite and Phoenician goddess. She's the goddess of love and war and fertility, exactly like Ishtar or Inanna, and even the name Astarte is very, very similar to the name Ishtar. So it's the same goddess, really. Okay, what did I do here? Okay, sorry. And then Altanea, who was this is an interesting story about the Greek. This is a Greek mother and also a queen, the queen of Caldon and the mother of Meleager. And when he was born, she had she was foretold that her son was going to die when the log on the hearth gets extinguished. So what she does is she saves this log, and because she, of course, obviously wanted him to live as long as possible. But then when her son killed his brothers, that is when she actually pushes the log back into the fire, and of course the boy dies, and so does she, because in her grief she kills herself. So it's a double murder, really. It's a self-murder and a I know there's a word for it, some kind of side, or not fratricide, because that's when you kill your brother. Anyhow, child murderer. So she's a child murderer and she's a suicider as well. So these are the mainly, probably the two main sins that you can commit: to kill your own child and to kill yourself. From the high above energies, this is something to destroy your own physical body is terrible. So that's an interesting story, and this is on the Sun Moon. So when we go back to the three main asteroids on aligned with the Sun Moon conjunction, Themis is divine order, Astarte is the goddess of war and also love, and Altair is the killer queen. This is what you see in the space-time moment. This is what when you look around, this is exactly what you see, unfortunately. Okay, and then there's also Melete somewhere, but this may be in the Hungarian version as well, so we don't need. But Melete, yeah, I spoke about this. Melete is the muse of meditation, of course, we talk about this. And there's also a mutable karmic cage in the new moon energy, the new moon chart. And what is a cage, a karmic cage? When you have a planet at the bending, squaring the nodal axis, that is a karmic cage. And it's because it pushes you to accept your destiny, kind of. The South Node is your karmic behavior pattern, how you behave when you are cornered or threatened. And the North Node is what you have chosen for this life, your chosen destiny. And it's simply the choice what you need to make coming from your karma towards your destiny. And this is helped actually by anything that is squaring the 2 points. And at the moment, Vesta, the focusing principle, is creating a mutable karmic cage with them. And here are the transcendental celestial objects. On the North Node, you have Heracles. On the South Node, you have pax, peace. This is exactly what we would like to have. Panacea, which is the universal remedy, and Orcus, which is a Plutino. So it has an orbital resonance with Pluto, and it is the punisher of broken oaths. And this is in the past. So the past, we could see what peace hopefully does. We can heal the world. We usually do heal the world, but at the same time, we are being punished for broken oaths. And on Vesta, you have Sophia, wisdom, Helena. She was the cause of the Trojan War. So a beautiful woman who causes terrible things. Attila, which is our hero, of course, and Hermes, who is the Greek counterpart of Mercury. And he is also not just the god of knowledge and writing, and but the god of mischief, but also the god of alchemy and magic. And two fixed stars on Vesta, Ras Agati, which is Alpha Hercules. So you can see that on the North Node, you have the hero itself, and on the Vesta, we do need heroes. We need some strong person who ends this idiocy that is going on in the world. And Graphias, which is Zeta Scorpio. That's Zeta Scorpio, and here it is. You can see that Hercules is on the northern hemisphere, and Scorpio is, of course, in the southern hemisphere. It is a zodiacal constellation, but this particular star, Graphias, is very, very much to the south. And these two are on the same astrological degree, but they are far away apart in the sky, and that is why Bernard Brady keeps emphasizing probably since 2005, so 2006 or 5, something like that. She wrote an article suggesting that we should not use the word conjunct with fixed stars, because nothing can really be conjunct a star which is as far as the I don't know, for instance, like Graphias is, because it's way to the south, and or Polaris, which is the pole star. But instead, we should use the word aligned, especially when you see diverse stars at very different places in the sky on the same astrological degree. They are very interesting pairs. Thank you for listening, and happy new moon, and try to make balance in your life. Bye-bye.